You left your corporate job because you wanted freedom. You wanted to do work you felt called to do on your own terms, without the red tape and without the ceiling, and most definitely without the burnout. But I want you to take a really honest look at your calendar right now. I want you to look at your client roster, and I want you to really assess what you even feel like inside. If you're like most of the founders I talk to, you accidentally built a business that feels exactly like the cage that you just left. So you are experiencing the exact same trap, just with different scenery. You're working all the hours. You are saying yes to every custom request, and you are over delivering to the point of exhaustion. And despite all of that effort, your revenue is likely stuck somewhere between $3,000 and $10,000 a month. And today I'm going to tell you the blunt truth about why that is happening. And I'm going to show you why the exact habits that made you successful in your 10 plus year corporate career are the exact habits suffocating your revenue today. And more importantly, I'm going to show you how to diagnose the hidden friction that is actually causing it. And later in this video, I'm going to tell you a story about a brilliant founder that I recently worked with. She had an incredibly powerful, deeply personal message to share with the world that has the capability to free so many people. But she was literally planning to give her expertise away for practically free because she brought a corporate employee mindset into her new calling as a founder. And I'll show you exactly how we fixed it so she could step onto premium stages and actually be paid for the value that she brings. But first, we need to talk about what I call the great unlearning. See, when you transition from a Fortune 50 environment to running your own business, you bring a lot of baggage with you. There's a lot that you've been conditioned over the many decades of your career that are now ingrained that it's time to unlearn. You are currently in a season of having to deconstruct your corporate habits and the time equals value beliefs that you were praised for in your corporate career. Think about it. In the corporate world, you were highly rewarded for being an order taker. You were the ultimate problem solver. If someone handed you a mess, what'd you do? You fixed it. And if someone asked you for a custom solution, you built it. But as an entrepreneur, taking every custom request dilutes your positioning and it keeps you in the weeds. Right now, you are operating on autopilot. In psychology, we call this system one thinking. And that's where you are applying a salaried employee mindset to a founder's role. You are pricing your services based on the hours you work rather than pricing for the premium transformation you deliver because you've been conditioned to trade your time for money. But you're a strategic advisor. And so you have to stop acting like middle management in your own business. And because you're operating like middle management in your own business, you're exhausted. But I need you to hear me clearly on this. You're not tired because you are working hard. You are exhausted because you are trying to hold on to control. Specifically, you are trying to control outcomes that are not yours to control. You are operating out of a false belief that overthinking, over delivering, and perfectionism will somehow prevent you from making the wrong move. This is what I call the hidden friction. Friction is the resistance you feel when your actions don't fully align with who you really are or what you really believe. And this friction usually shows up disguised as one or four walls. The four walls are fear, doubt, worry, and exhaustion. Right now, you think you have a business strategy problem. You think you need a new marketing funnel, or you need to post more on Instagram or LinkedIn, or you need to lower your prices to get more clients. You don't. What you have is a nervous system block. Your fear of rejection, your doubt in your capabilities, your worry about where your next client is coming from, it is causing you to play small. And if we look at this through a faith-led lens, these four walls are a form of spiritual warfare happening in your mind. The enemy The enemy's tricks are still the same from when he got Eve to eat the apple in the garden. And those tricks are to seed doubt and contradict what God already told you. And you're trying to build this business God gave you the vision for without God, acting like you can outdo him by simply working harder, rather than acting like you actually trust him and what he said, and you trust that the outcomes are working for your good. So this brings me back to the founder I mentioned earlier. She came to me for a strategic advisory intensive. She had overcome a massive, deeply personal crisis, and she had a powerful story about survival, resilience, and making impossible choices. But when she looked at her business model, she was swirling and she couldn't see a path to making sustainable revenue. She was planning to go around to local nonprofits and community centers to give surface level talks that wouldn't be able to sustain her lifestyle or her family. And it's not because she didn't want to make money, because she definitely doesn't want to go back to corporate. But it was because she couldn't see how her deeply personal, heavy story could possibly translate into a premium revenue generating business. See, this is where fear and doubt were running the show. She was afraid of telling the nuance of her story that God made uniquely hers for the very specific mission she was called to do. I told her that we had to stop playing small and really own that nuance. I introduced her to a Fortune 50 marketing principle I use with my clients. It's called the True and Truer framework. You see, her specific personal story was truer. It was highly nuanced and very specific to her. But to scale her impact and her revenue, we had to extract the true, which was the universal principle hidden in her story that could impact so many more people. We realized that the core of her story wasn't just about her specific crisis. The universal truth was about how to make hard choices. And by shifting that positioning, we elevated her deeply personal lived experience into a premium corporate keynote. She didn't have to change who she was. She did not have to water down her story. And she definitely didn't have to give up who she uniquely was. She just needed to change her positioning. She didn't need to work harder to get gigs. She needed to surrender control and face the truth of her immense value and step into the room she actually belonged in. And this is the very first step of my coaching methodology. It's called the FREE method. And the F stands for face the truth. You have to face the truth that you have built a job, not a business. You have to face the truth that you are underpositioned, underpriced, and overworked because you were relying on your own strength. Alignment means doing nothing less, nothing more, and nothing else than what God asked you to do. It is time to prune the custom offers, drop the employee mindset, and step fully into the authority that God gave you. You have a massive level of expertise, and it is time to start pulling the right growth levers so you can build a highly profitable business without striving. If you know you are under-leveraged, if you know you are tired of this corporate hangover, I want to help you fix it. I've put together a free revenue and profit growth guide. It shows you exactly how Fortune 50 brands pull the right levers to scale and how you can apply those exact same strategies to your business today without striving. You can click the link in the description to download it for free. And when you do, you will also join my private email newsletter, where I send out high-level strategic advisory insights and mindset shifts directly to your inbox. God did not call you to play small. So let's get to work, and I'll see you in the next video.